My dear friends, I'm Ajith Kaikini from Gati se Pragati to talk to you about the fourth pillar. Yeah, the fourth pillar of PDC. I've already talked to you about the first PDC, which was what? The perspective, the determination, and the clarity. The second pillar was why. It was the purpose, the dedication, and the consistency. The third pillar was about how am I going to create passion and have the devotion and therefore consistency in my work. And the fourth pillar, very, very important, is the preparedness. Am I prepared? Physically, mentally, relationally, existentially. And my dear friends, when the fourth pillar is preparedness for P, D for the discipline, and the C for that which is very, very important. What could it be? It is the guaranteed consistency with, and then the C is nothing but the competence. So if I have the P, which is very clear, the preparedness. Number 2, the D, discipline. To be prepared, you need discipline. Otherwise, when you're in mood, if you start developing some skills, it will never be developed. So please, my dear friends, discipline is very, very important. And then competence comes only when you have the discipline. So look at the power of discipline. Please realize, my dear friends, this coat which I'm wearing is nothing but cotton, which was disciplined as a thread, and the thread was disciplined as a cloth, and the cloth got disciplined as a coat by the tailor. Everything in life is final product because of discipline. And therefore, my dear friends, if you want to get your business growing and going, then you have to have this preparedness. Imagine, you go to Switzerland with warm clothes. Very good, you're prepared. But suppose you go with t-shirts, minus 15, minus 30 degrees temperature. How are you going to live there? And therefore, preparedness is one very important, vital thing which you need to be very, very clear about. So, but before you get prepared, you have to have the clarity. The first, what is the temperature there? What is the type of condition which will be there? And therefore, my dear friends, you have to understand one thing, that the self need to be worked upon. Surroundings can always be predicted by and large. Situations can also be controlled, but systems you need not worry. Once it is formed, you need not really worry about it. But you know what happens? Our preparedness goes for a toss because we are not disciplined beings. We are human beings. Only humans can be and do and have what they want. But the being itself is a big problem. We are not on the path of being. We are all the time in the path of copying what others are doing. I see somebody successful, I want to go for it. But my dear friends, are you really loving it? Do you have clarity about you? Do you have clarity about what you want to do? And then you know what happens? You will be on a wonderful pathway if you simply start with discipline, getting prepared. So where do you get prepared? Let us say I have to list down for my business, for my career, what are the tools I need to develop? What is the type of attitude I need to develop for myself so that I'll be able to face any situation, any person, any calamity which I come across. And then I have to develop and enhance my skills. Knowledge, my dear friends, is available in all books. I have seen many, many people giving too much importance to knowledge. Yes, knowledge is important. But very unfortunately, knowledge to be implemented with absolute ease, effortless effort, is only when you are empowered with all possible realities that will help you to further on in life. And therefore, my dear friends, the fourth pillar, very, very vital, is preparedness with discipline, and then you will have something which is very, very clear, the competence to go ahead with everything, whatever it is. Then once you have the competence, you can compete. Once you compete, don't compete with others. Compete with yourself. compete with your yesterday, and when you compete with your yesterday, there is no end to it. But when I compete with others, there is rejection, dejection. So what am I going to do? Don't compete with others. Try to find out why they are growing faster, if at all. Is there something which I can learn from it? Is there something what they are doing which I do not know? Emulate that, but don't start competing with individuals, because then what is going to happen is jealousy will set in. When jealousy sets in, then disciplining becomes very difficult, because the negative chemicals which are released in you is like a handbrake, and your progress will be deterred. And therefore, my dear friends, if you want to simply keep going on in life, remember these 4 pillars. These 4 pillars of PDC are very, very powerful, and if you start using it, nobody on earth can stop you from getting, being progressing in life. And therefore, my dear friends, what you do is, today onwards, simply sit, divide your paper into 4 parts. Okay? Take 4 papers, the first pillar, the second pillar, the third pillar, and the fourth pillar. Write down the first P. Let us say perspective. What are the things I need to do to clarify my perspectives? Then the determination. How do I, when problems come in my life, how do I terminate those problems, leap over them, break them, rather than I break down? And then get the clarity. Once the goal clarity comes, go to the second pillar. Like this, my dear friends, believe me, if you go to the second pillar, write down, why do I want to achieve my goals? When you write down the why of life, be explicit, explain as much as possible, and you will find that once you have the purpose very clear, you will be able to dedicate. Why do I want to reach that goal? The inside emotion will create the devotion which will help you to develop the commitment. Nothing can stop you after that. Go to the third pillar. Again, divide into 3 parts, PDC, and the third pillar is the passion. And therefore, once that passion is defined, why do I want to love it? Never talk negative about any of the work, because every time you talk negative, you withdraw. Every time you talk positive about it, you are depositing. So your psychological bank balance is upgraded, and you will never be going down. And finally, my dear friends, the last PDC I just spoke about, everything is there. Fill these gaps of your 4 pillars, and believe me, my dear friends, you will be able to make best use of these 4 pillars of PDC, whether it's business, career, life. You will be simply flowing and glowing. All the best to you.